You guys remember when he had a board or health or existed, period, before he got blown up? Pepperidge Farms, remember? We got this class. There's definitely logic to taking Yodeler pick 1 because it's so early. Ideal is probably 2 Unholy 1 Frost, but it's not that big of a difference. Versus going like Rainbow or 2 Unholy 1 Blood. I'll just grab this. Grab this. Okay, 2 Unholy 1 Blood locked in. Ah, it's like in Corpse Bride though. This is a brutal one. Corpse Bride is so much like the way you win with Death Knight. I think we take it over Necro. The Necro has an added value because we kind of want to lock in the runes. You can see the win rate's higher on Necromancer, but that's just because that anything in double Unholy has higher win rate. Alright, I think I'm gonna go Corpse Bride. Necro, it's like, because of like mages and stuff, they have too much AoE that just sweeps us up anyway. It doesn't actually feel as good as it used to. But anyway, I do like Harmonic Metal a lot. If we take Cultist, we're really locked into Rainbow, which is fine to have one of each rune. Cultist is a better card than Harmonic Metal, I think. It's just really good to have a lot of AoEs. I think I'll try that. I've done a lot of hand buff decks. I mean, our 12-0 Death Knight was a hand buff deck. It's really good. Like, this might be better, but I'm kind of okay going for a Rainbow here. I could lock into Rainbow. Even though we don't have any weapons yet, because we have both Blood and Frost, that's where like almost all the weapons are. So we'd be unbelievably unlucky if we didn't get weapons, so I'm just gonna take this. There's a weapon. There's the Grimewalker, nice. This is why you absolutely need to have an Unholy Rune right now. If you're not picking an Unholy Rune, you're just not really playing Death Knight. We'll take Legendary Discover. I think, wow, Eulogizer is that low. That surprises me because it's such a common card. It's just a little expensive for what it does, I guess, right? I mean, do I take Librarian instead then? Maybe I do. You're more likely to see Eulogizer again. And I mean, it's okay to have a lot of them, but I mean, you'd rather have one of each than 2 Eulogizers. So I think for that logic, we take this. Taking the 1 would be, I mean, the stats do show the highest win rate for the 1 drop, but those are always inflated. I'll grab a Silence. It's really good for the mirror, where you face like other Death Knights that have Cool Ghoul and stuff. Zestfire is really good in Cool Ghoul as well. Right now it's like Corpse Bride, you're not really a play on 5. So the only real corruptor we have is the Possessifier. Having some healing can still potentially be good. We go with the Ripper even. But some card draw might be valuable here, I think, just for consistency. I mean, we have card draw. We could go either way, honestly. We have like, actually, if anything, we have more card draw than you'd expect to have at this point. So I think I'll just take the Medic then, for potentially higher impact. I mean, it's got to be Prison Breaker, right? We don't have the spells right now, though. But sometimes we'll be on coin. We'll get spells, right? Surely. Surely. Do we go Candle Raiser? We have a lot of 3s already, so yeah, I think we go Candle Raiser over Dirigible. We might not get the spell count. The Prison Breaker. The thing is that, I mean, I'm not going to take this over Possessifier. Just for a spell. Still think I take this over that. We kind of needed it too, but I don't think I need it that badly. Bloodworm, we have no synergy for this, so maybe just a Corpse is better. And it's a 1-drop, I think so. I don't think... Wrap is too slow, right? I think it's just too slow. Not like it would be the worst thing, but... Unfortunately, if Tendril actually counted as spells, we would take it here for sure. To be able to activate the Prison Breaker. But it doesn't work that way. Sunwell is a better card, but 3s are not really what we need, so I might just take the Tendrils anyway. I mean, I'm gonna get tilted by them, but like, it theoretically fits our deck better right now. I mean, they generate corpses, right? If nothing else. They do generate corpses, and they might give us spells, actually. That's a possibility. Okay, I'll grab this spell to try to activate this Prison Breaker. Same thing here. This card was pretty good when I had it actually, but yeah. Try to activate these spells. I think. It would be easier to skip this Hog Rancher if I had taken that 3-drop. I think I'm still okay with it. In theory, plagues get better the more you have. Right? Probably. Probably Cool Ghoul over No Muncher, right? Usually at this point you already have one or the other. Don't have any synergy for Cool Ghoul, but it's also just really good, right? No Munchers are nice, and we don't have healing. Like, it would be helpful to grab it, but a lot of our 4s are not real 4s. We actually don't have that good of a turn 4 right now. I think it's more important to have this. Hopefully we get one of the other guys again. Another Possessifier. Well, turn 5 is insane. Navigation will actually... it's a terrible pick, but like Navigation will actually really help with the Prison Breaker. Potentially. Still gonna be a hell of a time to actually get that to work, but... Okay, gotta be Deconstructor here. Probably Tar Creeper. We didn't actually get that many 3s, right? I think we could definitely use a Tar Creeper. Some taunt would be helpful. Especially having skipped that No Muncher. Definitely seems like we want this. Watcher is huge. That's everything we're missing right now. Another Corpse Bride, that's huge. And we even get a No Muncher to close out. We don't take a 4th Possessifier, right? And it's Muncher over Deathstrike, right? Deathstrike just doesn't always... Deathstrike's better with Ripper, technically, probably, but... I don't know, it usually just doesn't feel that great because you just don't have... to be fair, normally you have more hard removal than we have right now. Like, we actually don't have that many ways to kill mid-sized minions. So... I mean, the way we do it is with Possessifier. Play this as a Bomb Lobber, and this too. It's just because, like, Deathstrike just doesn't make as much sense, because on curve, you just generally it isn't the right time you actually want to be dealing that amount of damage, right? It's funny, but it's like a Fireball with Lifesteal just isn't that good of a tempo play anymore. You know? I mean, it's okay, it trades evenly, but it doesn't trade up or anything. Yeah, if we take a No Muncher. Alright, this is a really good deck, I think. I mean, let's see the card quality. It's an 80, which is average, I think. But the deck can... I really like the deck's like build. It's just really good. I guess the only thing is our early game's a little lacking. Like, we're gonna start slow, but as long as we don't get like completely rolled over by a druid or something, we're okay. We have a couple AoEs. I guess the biggest problem is we don't have a whole lot of like discover. We have paparazzi. So like our ability to do the whole meta thing, which is to have like single cards win the game by themselves, that's the thing that we're not going to be good at doing with this deck. Unfortunately, I think I'll keep Cultist against a paladin. Kind of have to play the 2-3 instead of the 3-2. We shouldn't need the healing theory. That's somewhat large. I could just rip this. I don't need to though. It's kind of useless buff. I would have much rather, like, the Possessifier would have been... Probably the only good buff in the hand was to hit the Possessifier. That would have been really good. The other ones are all kind of pointless. I mean, this one might have been good because we're against a non-ping class, to be fair. So the most likely is probably Judgment of Justice, right? If I really knew it was Judgment of Justice, I would hit here. And then full clear. But it's pretty safe to just hit base. And I don't know, actually. Maybe I need to go 1 and 3, and then I need to just trade. Even if it's not, it's still probably the best play. So, It's either a spell secret or galloping. Galloping will probably just never trigger with this deck. I don't think we even could if we tried almost. Our cards are way too heavy. Okay, so Possessive Fire is pretty good. I think we just do that. I mean, I could play Chaos, but that opens us up into like Divine Shield trades. I don't think Paladins actually do that much anymore, to be honest, but I don't know, this is fine. If we draw a Corpse Bride in the next 1 or 2 turns, we'll be very happy we did it this way. So, seems reasonable. We could have pushed 1 more damage, but I think having this and this is better than just having a 2-1. Like, quite a bit. The fuck? Okay, if I want to kill that, I have to Hero Power. I can go Hero Power Paparazzi and kill that off. I can also just play the Eye of Chaos. Because I have Stormwind in hand, I think I will. Even though otherwise I wouldn't like it nearly as much, to be honest. Fine. This just allows us to maintain our board, in theory at least. That coil actually mattered. You gonna take 8? I probably, right? It could have been worse. It could have been Keeper Strength. That would have probably lost us the game on the spot. I mean, that we might have still lost on the spot. We'll see. I think we gotta do this now to corrupt this, maybe. We're suddenly losing, though. We may have to just Light Bomb this turn, no matter what, just to make sure you can't get a better thing. But even if I do Light Bomb, like, the problem is like, the refill plus Buckler is still gonna kill us, right? We're probably just dead. I mean, like, right now I can go, like, Trade and then Light Bomb and then Tendril, which is, like, the saddest play ever. But I mean, every other play is just instant lose, right? Unless we hit Shower Death with this. We have to hit, like, basically exactly Shower Death. Oh yeah, it didn't even work. Well, we stayed alive, but... It's very much on the technically alive side. Not actually alive. Another Never Surrender coming. Yeah. Just a non-game, we move on. I didn't have really any decisions that game, right? I don't think I ever did, really. I guess, like, the one thing I could have done differently is I could have played that Tendril before I played the Light Bomb, just to see if it actually did bail us out, but... Reminded the many times we went 0-2 to 7-2. Yeah, that used to happen a lot more than it does now. The problem is that it's just as likely you run into a Titan at 3-2 as it is to run into it at like 10-0 or something, so those kind of runs don't really happen anymore. If you go 0-2, like you might go like 3 if you're lucky, but those runs are not going well. Okay, we're already losing because he had a removal. This is prior to the major bot invasion. It's not really the bots though. It's just the shit game design. A lot more. In theory, I could hero power. And then this will be able to clean up, right? I'm gonna go with that, actually. It gives us the extra corpse, too. Like, I mean, what are we afraid of him removing this? You really want this thing to be dead so that you can actually play this without that popping a Divine Shield for free. But... oh, we're losing again, nice. I mean, this is pretty good, to be fair. It's just, it's also on board an oddly specific answer to it. Yeah, it's just, there's very little that goes to, like, how well your deck does. Unless your deck is, it is possible to draft a deck that's completely, you know, sometimes you are that 1% deck that just goes 12-0 and it doesn't really matter, right? But the other 99% of the time, your deck result is almost entirely RNG now. Obviously, there's skill involved in maximizing any individual run, but any individual run is just as likely to go 0 as it is to go 12. Pretty much. It's usually, the band isn't usually that wide. It's just what's funny is, like, it used to be, like, if you went back to Arena, like, 4 or 5 years ago, you could tell, like, a good player could tell you, oh yeah, this is a 5 to 7 win deck. And they would be right like 80 to 90% of the time. It will go between 5 and 7. Or something like that. Or it'll go between 8 and 10. Or it'll be like a 10 to a 12 or whatever. Nowadays, it's like, I could be, like, this deck is literally as likely goes 2 as it is to go 12. But, like, that's the thing, is that that's the loss of precision in that kind of analysis nowadays. Like, you just have no idea. Because it's just so random, just based off of what your opponents are. Next turn might be the Corpse Bride. It would be kind of okay to hold on to it. If we can, like, maybe we can get, like, Hero Power Candle Raiser or something. We'll see. But we could re-Divine Shield this, potentially. If he, like, pings this instead of this. If he pings this, it's not going to be worth this, right? But in that case, yeah, we're probably just going to Corpse Bride. I don't need to hold on to this for anything, right? I don't think so. I don't even have another mech, right? So we just throw it out to, essentially to die, so that we'll have the corpse for whenever we draw the other Corpse Bride if it's soon. If your deck doesn't feel busted, you won't go more than 5 win nowadays. Well, it's like you do sometimes, but it's just completely random, like... There's essentially, I've had, like, just kind of mediocre decks go 10, and I've had mediocre decks go 2, and there's absolutely no difference between the deck. It just depends on who you queue into. Do I want to Divine Shield the Tar Creeper or this? This denies the ping. I'll put this over here either way. This would, like, technically play around what the hell is it called? The 7 mana spell, Firelands Portal, but Firelands Portal should not win him the game, because even if he gets like a 10-10, it just gets eaten by the Divine Shield, so... Well, it actually doesn't save him, like, he just straight up dies, so... I actually think it's better to protect the 1/1. Desperation Discoverer. I mean, he needs, like, pretty much Flurry off of this, right? Or Blizzard, okay. Oh, not Blizzard. Why did he coin first? Oh, I guess he had... Yeah, I guess. Okay. It's just a completely random secret. Problem is, he's like 1 man off a Blizzard anyway, so he couldn't have gotten it. Because that's what he needed. He's like Giga dead, right? Oh, I can't target his face with down at the ship though. Or Icy Touch. That probably actually, yeah, that keeps him alive, right? This turn. I think we just shoot him, right? Like, I don't see why not. He's a mage. Mages don't... I don't think they typically reno themselves. Wait, we have a fucking... Wait, we have this anomaly? What's up, guys? Like, half the time I don't even notice. I spend all my mana every turn this game. So I'm like, wait, there's an anomaly here? I actually didn't know this was here. If I knew that was here, I might have skipped turn 1 or something. But I didn't even know that was there. Because in this deck going like 1 into double 3 would be potentially a good thing. I mean, I don't think there's anything he can do that's better than Blizzard, and that he's just giga dead to that. So it's kind of a weird thing about having the anomalies be so... They're like rare enough, like they're in 1 out of 4 games right now, and it's like they're rare enough that you just kind of forget they exist. Unless you notice them. I feel like it would have been better to make him like 50% maybe. Because like, as much as I complain about things that people consider to be fun, like I don't mind anomalies really that much in this game. They could have been better. They could have had a higher rate on them, I think. It feels way less than 1 in 4. I think it feels that way because half the time they just don't really have impact anyway. So like the amount of time, it's only like 1 out of 10 games or so that they actually really like influence the game in a meaningful way anyway. Well, that's one that's gonna have impact.
My sorcery will prevail.
The past is dead.
Man, this is our only weapon, right? So I just toss you and hope I never draw you again. I mean, it would be a 1-mana 1/2 that draws this, so I could have like played it, but I already have another 2-drop, so they fixed the cultist bug, right? This card actually used to not work if it was cost modified by an anomaly like this, but I believe they fixed that bug. I hope they did. Do I actually want to... Oh, this is 6/1. Yeah, I'll go weapon first. Good thing he fizzled before he got this dragon. That would have been really bad, potentially. Okay, so we have both of these options available now. Cultist, Grimewalker. Cultist Hero Power or Grimewalker Hero Power. Both plays seem really good. He has to do the saddest trade in history here. Now we just Grimewalker Hero Power him. Have I mentioned that this card is like the dumbest card to ever exist in this mode? Have I mentioned that yet? Why does this exist? This card is actually... I think this card is more of a problem than Titans. As much as I don't like Sargeras specifically being in the game, this card is worse for the game than Sargeras is probably. At least given the offering rates that they are currently. Like, look at this. This guy had to do like a fucking double board clear combo just to kill that thing, because that's how scary it is. And I wish I could say he was misplaying, but he's not. Yeah, I'm just gonna play this. We have the second one to use more corpses in theory. We don't really have any corpse spending other than these, right? It's like only the corpse brides. It's kind of nice to have it that way, honestly. Well, that's what makes it so, like, it would be so much less bad for Arena if it had 3 health, because that would make it so much more likely you could at least kill it. Like, the fact that it's 4 instead of 3 makes it just so much less likely that it dies. It's actually an unbelievably huge difference. You know, that's why they nerfed watch posts that way. It's the exact same thing. Nerfing the watch posts by just 1 health just changed all the breakpoints by so much.
I do.
I could have gone 3 and 4 too, but this seems fine. That was the worst case scenario, is that it was this, which I thought it probably was most likely to be that, but yeah, it's fine. I can silence one of my guys, but I can also no muncher and then that goes phase 2. Both plays get us a lot of face damage. If I do this, I can go to 3, 1, 2. Pretty nice is just a little bad if he has like another fire sale. Like this would be, I think, quite a bit better against fire sale. Just play this right now. Especially because if I use this up, then I'm, you know, playing more into fire sale because of that. I'm gonna hold on to this turn. I might still trade it, but we'll see. Just not sure yet if I want it. There's no way they ever change a card deck for Arena. The thing is, like, I don't know. I mean, there's a couple of different ways they could kind of fix the problems of Arena right now. Like, one way would definitely be to actually... This still attacks, by the way, right? Like, isn't he? So he's actually still dead, right? Yeah. I'm gonna make a video about this, like, probably next week or something. It might not come out for like 2 weeks, but they need to either make it so that cards are allowed to have different balance in Arena versus other modes. In general, cards should just be able to have different balance in different modes. Like, for example, like Mech Warper is a really good example. Mech Warper got banned in Wild. It's a problem in no other mode, right? Except maybe duels sometimes. But, like, you couldn't nerf it because then it would just be unplayable in Arena, for example, right? Like, either they need to allow cards like that to just have different balance in different modes. Titans are an example where Titans are relatively balanced in Standard, but they're completely broken in Arena. You know, the alternate example. Either they need to just be willing to balance things differently, or they just need to greatly increase the number of bans they do. For like modes like Arena, for example. Because they balance cards for Standard, but they just don't balance cards for Arena. So they just need to be willing to ban, like, a lot of things. Like, I think there's probably, including good and bad cards, I think there are probably, out of, like, the... I forget what's the card pool exactly. There's, like, 1,150 cards in the game right now. There are at least 50 and maybe even closer to 100 cards that just should be banned. If you actually want the game to be better, gameplay-wise, you should ban, like, literally close to 100 cards. Probably. Like, the top 30 cards and maybe, like, the bottom 50 cards should just all be banned. Not sure it's possible because the game engine was programmed by a 12-year-old intern. They can ban cards though. Like, that's one of the things they can do. Like, there's a lot of better solutions you could do, right? But this, you know, banning a lot of things is, well, okay. There's better solutions you could do, but this is the one thing that they actually can do that is just, you know, would be better than nothing, because currently they've been doing nothing, right? I could have cleared off the Murloc too, but this is fine. Because the thing is, like, they could also balance cards differently, but it would be, first of all, it would be more work. It'd be a lot more work than banning cards, which makes it a lot less likely they'll do it. But on top of that, it's also, I think they have to, like, it would be something they could do, but they just aren't willing to put that level of work in, I think, for Arena, for example. If Arena is going to be, like, the main mode that needs it, they just aren't going to do it. It's not realistic. Possessive Fire works, but this also works. Everything else sucks, right? So, I mean, the upside of Possessive Fire is that we corrupt the medics, so I'm probably going to do it for that reason. I think otherwise I would do Ripper probably. Anyways, like, that's the thing, is like there's like other sensible solutions too. I have like better ideas of how they could actually do things that would be better, but like it's just, you know, at a certain point. Do I want a card from his deck? Well, I need to take this trade, so I don't really have a choice, right? I guess I'll take a card from his deck. Yeah. Like, I have better ideas, but then they're, you know, you go into things that are just like impractical because they're just never going to do it. You know, it's very easy to theory craft ways to make Arena better that just are not things that would ever happen. Okay, this is pretty good. Is there anything, if Silence was a spell? Looks like the deck tracker got broken. By, I think Tony broke the deck tracker. I do still have, like, spare mana, so I could do this turn, but... Like, it's like, I only have, like, down with the ship. I could take, like... I probably want to grab Icy Touch when it actually... The freeze actually helps me. Walking Fountain would be pretty good for him right now. We'll still deal with it relatively easily. Okay, it's Fire Elemental instead. Whatever happened to Mercs, they literally canceled that game after like a year and a half. They went from full trying to monetize it to literally canceled it in like literally 18 or 19 months, I think. It's actually kind of remarkable. I mean, like, that's its own problem that, like, I think that's had a lot of negative impact on the game too. The fact that it's like, there's a lot of people that put significant resources into that, not expecting Blizzard to straight up fucking cancel something after a year, you know? I mean, I spent more money in Mercenaries than I wish I did. I don't know how much I spent exactly. I probably spent close to like... I probably spent more money in Merc... Well, no, actually, because I bought a lot of Tavern passes. Apart from Tavern passes, I put more money into Mercenaries than I have in the rest of Hearthstone combined. That's definitely true. Because my total spending in Mercenaries is probably around 150, I think. Was Mercs that fun? Well, more than half of my spending was pre-orders, because I expected it to be... I mean, I didn't have that high expectations, but I expected more than what it was. I'll put it that way. And for content reasons, I wanted to be on it if it made sense to be, but... You know. Like personally, it's like, I mean, I don't know, Mercenaries wasn't that different from like Pokemon or something. It didn't really, you didn't acquire things the same way as Pokemon, but like the gameplay, like that aspect of it, I liked for what it was somewhat, but I mean, you know, it didn't exactly make up for a lot of the flaws of that game. Since right now this is still our best 3-drop, I think I'll just hero power. You could go like 2 into 3, but it's probably not that much better realistically. Well, it's just that Blizzard, I mean, they support the modes that make them money, right? They support Standard by far the most, and Battlegrounds a lot. It's actually kind of remarkable they even still support Battlegrounds as much as they do. And it must be making a decent amount for them, right? They just don't really care about anything else. It's by far the most popular. And they kind of have to embrace it because, like, let's be honest. The thing is like, if you're being realistic, if Battlegrounds didn't exist, Hearthstone probably wouldn't exist right now. Because I think the game would have completely died. I think Hearthstone actually would be dead. It maybe wouldn't be like literally dead, but I mean, like, yeah, like no one would care about it anymore. It would probably still be making like, they would still have a skeleton crew and they'd probably still be making money technically. They'd probably be making, you know, only 10 million a year rather than 100 million or whatever the fuck they make now, you know? But like, the game would be pretty much dead. It would be around like Legends of Runeterra level or something, basically. Not technically dead, but you know. Not really supported either.
I can be very persuasive.
StarCraft 2, yeah, I've heard StarCraft 2 hasn't been doing great with their balance lately. It's like, I don't know, it must be like one of these things where it's like, you know, they always have the new exciting thing. I don't know if Arclight Rumble is the new thing for Blizzard or whatever, or if there's even like a different game that's really taking their best people, but like it's been the thing lately where it feels like their best people seem to go on to particular projects and everything else kind of gets left to die, essentially, which is whoever else they have, you know. Considering if I would want this to get explosive runes, I could test this first. That was unlikely. It kind of feels worth just getting this out now. It's like you have an 8-8 this way instead of just a 3-3. Our competitive RTS is still a thing these days. Not a lot of people play like StarCraft 2 anymore, but like, I mean, StarCraft 2's always thrived off of its competitive scene. There are still a lot of people, I don't know, like maybe 100 or so people training full-time, super hardcore to be as good in StarCraft 2 as possible in Korea. Almost all in Korea now. There's not much outside of Korea, I don't think, anymore. But like, that's still a thing. But yeah, as I said, like outside Korea, I don't think there's much anymore. I can't play Icy Touch this turn with Cultist. I can't do it with Hero Power. I can do both. What I can do is I can do this, this, this. Let's just push the 8. We have this trade theoretically happening. Looking forward to a shift away from FPS MOBA and stuff. Yeah, the thing is that those games do better because they're just more, interesting from their flashier, right? Strategy games are not doing it as well because, you know, people don't want to sit back and don't want to actually think about things as much, you know, largely. It's us boomers that still play Hearthstone and stuff, that appreciate that a lot more. Get in might actually be good next turn. I might just need Malagos though. I didn't know a single person growing up who played RTSs and you're 26. I mean, I'm like 5 years older than you. I knew people that played back then. Like, when I was in college, StarCraft 2 was a thing. It wasn't as big as like League of Legends back then. Anymore. If you're slightly older than me, like if you're like 35, StarCraft 2 was... You know, it was like StarCraft 2 and what, like Counter-Strike and... Quake or things like that even back then. I think Quake might be a little older than that. Like StarCraft 2 was like some of the biggest thing, one of the biggest things back then. Could have had a Baron Geddon. So the question is, if I can just afford to play this, like I might just die. Like he doesn't have that much damage, but he'll definitely try to kill us. Yo, Dreads with the raid. I feel like this is just a little bit too slow. We'll trust to the tentacles, right? That's what would Dreads do? I think Dreads would trust the RNG. Brilliant. That's fine. We could still get a AoE. That's not it. Well, this was mildly a disaster, but I mean, it could have been worse. Gotta run. Alright, have a good one. Appreciate the raid, Dreads. If you don't know Dreads, check them out. Long time arena streamer, also does increasingly more variety for, you know, obvious reasons. As with all of us. I think our board's getting blown up. Is that 3 out of 4? That might be bad for us. I think we're dead. Draw this when it doesn't help us anymore. Nice. So our only play now is do this. Didn't have 1 mana spell, right? I don't think so, no. You ready for VR to become the future of esports any day now? I don't know if it ever will. But, you know, the big problem with VR, what they have to do to make VR like actually good in esports, you have to make it so you can actually see people's faces while they're playing. That's actually the single most important thing, I think. If they could make it like even more like, you could even have, it could be really cool. You can imagine some futuristic thing where there's like arenas where people are actually running around and doing things too, not just, you know, like that could be cool. But like, the big thing is that you lack the connection. The reason like Twitch works, you get to see people's faces and relate to them, whatever. You just can't do that while someone's playing with VR because it's literally covering their face. That's actually like the biggest problem. It's why you don't see any people stream in VR. Hardly at all, except as like a one-off thing. It's because people just don't like to watch it. Because it feels weird. I could play like every spell. Yeah, maybe I want to save this. I think I might actually go for every spell. This doesn't do anything, right? This would just beat a proc counter.
My rule is eternal.
I might get a water elemental after all this. It would have been funny if he had Rig Fair Game and he draws all of these. He didn't get a lot of frost plagues, unfortunately. If he got like 4 frost plagues, draws all of them, and then he dies, that would be cool. I need to actually, now that I have all this space, I haven't done that yet. I need to try plugging in all my VR stuff. See how well it still works. My VR headset, like I have like a pretty early Oculus Rift. Like I don't know how well it still works. At some point I probably just need to buy a new one. It's at least, I don't know how old it is, it's at least like 6-7 years old. I hope I don't die because of this. Mass quantities of deodorizer available. Exactly. I mean, it wouldn't be worse than, yeah, it's like you just have good air conditioning, right? It wouldn't be worse than a concert venue or something. You just have to have a strict, you need to shower before you come in policy. Maybe you just install showers even. So if someone, you just be like, excuse me, sir, go over there. You actually have a shower in your bathroom? Nice. So I can actually protect the thing. It shouldn't be worth. It doesn't like change the breakpoint for lethal next turn, so I don't think we need to like push every single damage. We could have only pushed one more period, so like putting him to 5 really wouldn't be that big of a difference, I don't think. Oh, he still has a 5-minute dirigible. Okay, I think he's dead, right? He's gonna dirigible this and then we kill him. Nice! We killed the mage. We killed the mage. Only took 17 years. Got him, chat. He's actually dead on board. As well. But got him. Oh, another mage. Yay! Rolling like all the important anomalies. I can cultist on turn 1, that's pretty cool. I think we'll just paparazzi on 1 probably. Waiting for VR like they have in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, I mean that was always my dream as a kid. I was like, man, imagine having those things. Like the dual discs, whatever. Anything like that would take away all of my money, basically. If anything like that was ever developed, I would have no money, and I would just be like, yo, just take all of my money. I don't care. All of it. Just let me do that. Tier 6 isn't golden hero power. It's probably only like 250 or something. Oh yeah, Elysian got unnerfed. RNR HSR, thanks for the follow. Really? Bro, I just discovered a legendary and he's reverbing that. Oh, okay. Can we just play this right? It's fine. 3 days ago feels like a week. That is true. I mean, 3 days on the internet is basically like a month, let's be honest. Okay, all is going well so far, but you know, eventually the mage bullshit starts beginning. I mean, he's at 30 health is the problem. So yeah. Guess ironically, I would have played around Shooting Star better by actually leaving at both the 1/1s, huh? This is where he just starts throwing spells at us. He's gonna ping anyway, so it didn't matter. I mean, do I just munch this? I'd have to let the muncher do the 5 here so that I can protect the Divine Shield. It's like, otherwise, like if I want to protect the Divine Shield, I have to play Remorseless here, which I think is even worse, so... I'd rather have the Divine Shield than push 2 extra damage. I probably need to click in the achievement section. It might not actually update even until I actually start a new run. I can try it after this. So do I rag and then let him copy our rag again? Dude, he has so many spells. Like he has to have like he reverbed on turn 3 for tempo, right? Like there's no way he doesn't have another reverb. There's actually just no way, right? It's just I don't have another good play, so fuck it. I guess I can still go face with this. Oh. No. Oh, he only has star power. At least he didn't steal our rag. Do I feel better about that? Not really, but... I mean, maybe. What do I do now? I could buff up Tar Creeper. So it seems like he doesn't actually have the reverb. So like buffing up the Tar Creeper would actually be pretty good. I don't really see a better play, right? Unless you wanted to just be more mana efficient by shooting him in the face, but that seems like probably a bad idea. Alternatively, you just don't need to clear this turn. I don't know. Seems okay. I was out of range of the 7 drop. The 7 mana spell, but not out of that. Brutal. Well, that's a hell of a draw, though. I don't really care where the buff goes. Of course it goes here, but... I mean, that was better than here, to be fair. We also had Firelands Portal. I played around Firelands Portal very consciously. Got rewarded, and then I'm still going to lose to it. That's unfortunate. I mean, maybe not, we'll see. So... he just draws all the plagues, and then we actually win, right? Surely. We shouldn't die at this health, so I think we shoot him in the face. If we draw a spell, we also theoretically win. And either one we can actually afford to play with hero power, maybe. Cali God. That's not what he needed. If we get a stealth. Actually, not that he can kill it anyway. But he doesn't even have that much damage on board, so... oh my god, why? Like, if he couldn't kill us last turn, he shouldn't be able to kill us this turn either. So I'm supposed to just put him to 1. Yeah, I know, but like, we're definitely supposed to just put him to 1 and then...
As if I could be cleverer.
Like, as long as he doesn't have 2 fireballs all of a sudden. That's actually 1 fireball. Safety squelch. Okay, we did it. Unsafety squelch. Remember when we had board? Can I draw another spell? I want to actually play this once. Actually, I already played this, didn't I?
Next time will be different.
Darn. He didn't let us play the tendrils, chat. He didn't allow us to. Truly disaster. You're playing Constructed versus Druid and they've drawn their whole deck except 3 cards and it's turn 6. Yeah, that's pretty much the meta now. How do you like the standard experience? I think if you're playing at lower MMR, you don't see that as often. But yeah, that's like actually the high legend meta is just a bunch of people solitaring their Druid decks. You know, they like what they ban Jailer and that they, you know, Druid. The thing is that Druid is so fundamentally broken that when they ban one win condition, they just start playing a different win condition, right? And it's exactly the same thing, basically. You know, it's just like, you know, this is what happens when they don't like fix fundamental problems in the game. Is that they just keep having these things happen, right? Like, it's like, I feel like a broken record, like, talking about it at this point. Because it's like, you know, like, there's things that are actually... Some people would like you to believe otherwise, but there's things that are actually just problematic and should actually just not exist, you know, for like legitimate reasons. Like Titans in Arena. Also Trial by Fire in Arena. Also Sickly Grimewalker in Arena. Like these are all just, these just should not exist. I think I'll draw over tempoing this. Okay, that's fine. It's actually very fine. If I trade the 3-2, I can full clear. I guess I do that. Well, I've always for a very long time, before it was cool to complain about Druid, I always thought Druid was a problem personally. Like I don't like the gameplay pattern that Druid creates in Standard. And it's actually a big reason I just don't play Standard, is because it's like I just don't understand. It's like, you know, it's literally all they do is they just sit on their ass and don't do anything. And then suddenly, you know, they do nothing for 5 turns, and then it's just they have god turns every turn, and it's just whether or not you can somehow kill them either before they start or afterwards, right? Like, and to me, like, that's just not an interesting game plot. That's just not an interesting play pattern. Naga Mage is kind of the same shit. Yeah, basically, yeah. That's why Naga Mage got nerfed out of existence practically. But, you know, they have certain classes that they prefer to, that they just like more, you know, Blizzard does, so. Certain classes get to do things and others don't. This could hit Corpse Bride, but it's a 50-50 right now. I think I like this. For some reason they like these solitaire decks. I mean, these decks are like, they're like technically high skilled, and there are a lot of constructed players that like it too, you know. I just don't I don't personally like the gameplay that, like, you know, things like, for example, Demon Hunter and Constructed produces, but a lot of people do. And to a lot of, like, you know, the like analyst type people that place a lot of standard. As long as it's 50% win rate, it's fair, right? And it doesn't, the gameplay doesn't really matter to them in the same way. So, oh, sorry, are we dead? We're probably dead. Like to them, if you complain about like play patterns or experience or fun or whatever, those are just buzzwords or whatever, right? They don't believe that those are real things. I mean, I don't die to that next turn, right? This is a lot of stats. This is an interesting turn because it's like we have like a real decision. It's like, do we just want to go phase and hope that works, or do we want to actually try to like play the board and stuff? I could really just like, the problem is I'd have to like Ripper this and down with the ship in, and then I don't have any other plays is the problem, right? What would be pretty good is to just go like Ripper face and then Corpse Bride, but it could get countered board wise. And then I would have like the ability to do both of these. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of gambling, like I don't have any information, right? I know he's a dragon, but that doesn't matter. The dragon that would kill me would be the amalgam, but... Okay, we got him. You like this play to win? Yeah, it's just like there would have been other plays. I like it for that reason too. There would have been other plays that would have potentially pushed. We could have actually been even more aggressive technically, but this play was good enough because it wasn't absolutely 100% max face damage, but it gave him 14/14 as stats they had to deal with, right? So. It's a little greedy, but I want to keep this Candle Raiser. I think I will. Hey Buzz Lightbeers, how you doing? It's kind of bad for us. Okay, at least we have an AoE. Would have been a lot better if we had a cultist, obviously, but.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and...
Reporting for duty.
I think I will just kill this.
You owe me.
That was disgusting. I didn't say it out loud, but I was thinking it's like, oh man, if we get rushed, it's gonna be good. Right. This is how a pro arena streamer plays? Exactly. You call, as long as you say the card, this is what we always talk about on this channel. As long as you say the name before it happens, it's skill. You call it, whenever you call it, it's skill. That is the rule. I don't make the rules, it's just these are the rules. Do I play the Candle Raiser? Like, he's just gonna pop both the Divine Shields, but it's still pretty good. I don't really want to do this. I think it's fine, right? Like, it's still good. It's basically like a 3/3 Divine Shield and another Divine Shield and a Consecration. Oh god. I mean, that's not that bad. I just play this, right? I think what's funny is that this has still been one of the best cards in our deck, even though we have absolutely no synergy for it. I guess Ripper is technically synergy, but like other than that, and like a body bagger, we have absolute, and a cool goal. We have like absolute minimum possible synergy for this. And it's still one of the best cards in our deck. One thing I've seen is like a lot of people would like forge and play this here, and it's like there's just absolutely no reason. Like people forge this card so much for no reason. I see so many people do that. Like, don't just forge that just because you can. You don't need the healing. Like you just don't need to. There's a world where you keep the totem up just to have it try to be there to take a shot for one of our guys from his tendrils, but yeah. He also might buff it, so. Ha! It's the first time that's happened against... for me. Someone's done that against me. Bestial Madness. Nice. You just beat a warrior because you had a 15-15 Divine Shield on turn 4. How the hell did you get a 15-15 Divine Shield on turn 4? But congratulations, you outskilled your opponent. Now I can forge it, except I'm probably going like Remorseless Winter Hero Power still. Why does he have 2 Feral Spirits? Because unfortunately Remorseless Winter Hero Power is all my mana. Is Remorseless? Remorseless actually doesn't really push damage, right? I don't think I can actually lethal him though, right? I just don't have enough damage, so... I mean, we're definitely playing you. We're definitely playing you. You're trading for sure. We're definitely hero powering. I'm probably playing this as well. I guess I'm trading this too. This is probably trolling. This is like definitely trolling. I forgot about this, to be honest. Wait, what did I push face with? Did I have the ability to clear? I wasn't really thinking about this by that point, to be honest. Yeah, no monster is pretty illegal when you don't have to pay anything for it, because it just heals 2-4 into 1-1. Well, I didn't really want to trade the 2-4 into the 1-1. It's pretty important to keep that guy at 4 instead of 3 against Shaman. Not that anything we did really mattered in that game. I think we just toss instrument tech in this deck since we only have 1 weapon. If we keep it, there's still a chance it trolls us by us drawing the thing.
Excuse me, over here.
That's kind of nice.
Excuse me, over here.
Wait, I have like no forge at all, right? Dude, where's my I didn't take that 1 eulogizer and drop. Oh, it's like I have the 2 drop. That's the only one, the Watcher. I was like, we have 1, right? But yeah, I didn't actually take that, so I didn't forge it, so now we can't even do it. I don't know that 1 Amalgam Band. How many tribes are we really going to get? What did we already play? We played Mech, right? I'll get an Undead, but like I'm probably getting nothing else, right? I do have an Elemental. I have a Beast, but... This just seems like a good play next turn, so... I could play the AoE. Coin Possessifier just clears, but I'd rather do this, right? You can go 1 and 3, but I still think this is probably better. It's better 2 out of 3 times, to put it that way. Of course. I may have lost us the game on the spot, actually. He's just doing a cultist here, though, that's not a very good turn. And do I want to possess fire, or do I just... Probably don't want to expose this to that damage here. It's pretty good, it sets up like Stormwind potentially. This is a pretty passive Death Knight, which is probably bad for us, to be honest. Let me check. I usually don't have this showing, but he's only shown a Froster, and we actually still don't know what he is, even. The way he's playing, he's probably Blood, but we just don't know.
Would I lie?
The Searing Ghost faces off in a shower word. Shower Skin Gargoyle. Well, as much as like everything that ever goes face. They're all the same. I guess I could have done that first. Yeah, wouldn't have been able to play that anyway, though. Still a very good draw. Remember our opponent didn't have 14-14 on board? I mean, it's fine in theory, it shouldn't kill us, unless we draw like both plagues right now. Also has that. Probably Blood. Is this oh yeah, this is double unholy. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing about Arena right now, is that nothing makes sense, so this is why I say probably, because you can't really be sure of anything, because nothing actually makes sense anymore. You have people with the full aggro rune combination that just play like control decks, because... I think I messed up actually, but... I should have played this instead of hero powering. Missed 1 damage, but I would have had the Ripper in hand. That's really good for us. Would have made this harder to go off though. Another Scorpid. Oh my god. Scorpion needs to have 2 HP. Well, that's just one of those. Wait, he just.
That feels good.
Oh, my opponent is face rushing me. Let me just voluntarily take a whole bunch of damage. For no reason. God damn it. He has balls. He probably was setting up lethal or something. For me in that situation to think that I had no damage is just pretty insane though. Why does this card go face? Why do, like, remember when they didn't print card, when they didn't, that was a conscious decision they made, was that they wanted removal to not go face anymore because they thought it was unfair and it was just better that everything didn't chip your opponent to death. But now you have all this kind of shit that all chip goes face. Like, this thing is 7 face damage in theory sometimes. You guys remember that? When they made it so Wrath didn't go face and Starfall didn't go face. You guys remember that? That was a change they made. And that change was actually older than me. I think I started playing Hearthstone like right after they made that change. I didn't actually play when like Druid everything went face. Kind of wish I did, because it just seems like it'd be hilarious. But that's what it was. That was like beta. That was like, that might have even, I think that was like very, very early beta or even like late alpha. That it was like Wrath and Starfall, everything went face. So Druid's literally just face rush too. And now it's like every game is like that, but you know, they call it not a problem anymore for some reason. Even though it's the thing that they realized was a problem 10 years ago, you know. It's just suddenly things are different, supposedly. I'm gonna be mana efficient. I could play this, but maybe we get Ignis again. You can't wait for Twisting Nether to go face? True. Would they? Yeah, that was funny with Holy Nova, too. They nerfed it and then they're like, ah, JK. The way this works out in theory, it'd be good if it went here. So I guess I'll do this first. Nice. Holy Death Knight. I'm like never gonna use this, am I? I might use it now. Because normally you would Possessifier here, right? But I guess Possessifier, well, it kind of plays around this. And yeah, actually this just dies to that anyway. So that's actually really bad. So I guess I do this one. I'm actually gonna swing this as well. Protect these undeads, because that actually makes it even more impossible for this hammer to really properly function. He played Zephyrs. 1 mana Zephyrs, chat. You know what they're actually going to do to Twisting Nether, though? They're going to make Twisting Nether. They're going to make it, you know how... I bet this would be, like, not this next coming year, but the year after change. They're going to make it so Twisting Nether is a silence removal. Just like, you know how Sargeras is. Once Sargeras rotates out, they're going to make Twisting Nether actually be a silence removal. I would actually bet they're going to do that. They'll either do that or they'll just remove it from the game and replace it with something else that's even more OP, but, you know. I would bet that one of those things is going to happen. Do this. This also helps to like play around this kind of. And then I could just play this now. Thin my deck a little bit. Don't care about the silence. Again, the same problem is while this is around, I just can't really play this. So I don't care about the freeze, but I might still take this over that. I think it's still the best pick, right? But I think I still want to swing. They're gonna make Twisting in their Plague of Death? Literally, though. I'm ready to explain things? Why, thank you. I'm going to add a board. That still doesn't, like, I'm being such a pest with just playing things that are difficult to deal with right now. He's wasting all this damage into that thing. Half of my 4-drop had just ate like 7 damage. And it's gonna kill a 3-3. It's insane, right? I play this, I could also... I could throw this down and then... do this if I wanted to. How is this going? It actually will be active eventually. You go 4 and 3, but this doesn't really feel worth it. I kind of like this. It's just like him being an on-ping class. I could use the Divine Shield, but it's such a pest if I just leave it there. I can't really deal with a fire elemental that great though, but he didn't have it. So. No, that's annoying. I can pop off the shields. I can go Remorseless Winter, pop this, and then reapply Divine Shields. That is so annoying. At this point, I'm just thinking, like, what would I want? If I were my opponent, what would be, like, the most annoying thing I could do? And I'm like, yeah, that would probably be the most annoying thing I could do. So, that's probably a good play. I can't imagine anything that would tilt me more from the opponent's side, being a non-ping class and having to deal with this kind of bullshit. Oh no, Buckler. He picked this just because it was the cheapest ability to ping that he had. Do I? No, I use the weapon rates. Which way do I want to win, chat? Play one of these. Okay. Wait, is he dead? He's not quite dead. I was gonna do this, but now I don't need to. Okay, I guess I can tentacle now. No! That would have been... That still was one-off lethal, right? This card I played... I was like, wait, I forget what this card does. The voice bubble is in my way. Guess I just pick this. Do I want this? It's not like it matters, to be honest. I'm sorry, I just have so many options, opponent. I have so many different ways to kill you, I'm just choosing which one. It gives me 4x to reach. Oh yeah, I do have that. So yeah, that might have been better. I just didn't have time to think about which corrupts I had, even though I had the one in hand. This is the only one in the whole deck, right? But yeah, that might have been better than this. I mean, I don't know, this is fine. Oh no! Ah! You activated my trap card. You can also do this. You guys remember when he had a board or health or existed, period, before he got blown up? Pepperidge Farms, remember?
King! All will serve me in death. You will know pain.
Do I trade this or do I keep it against a Death Knight? I probably keep it, right? Because of Cool Ghoul and stuff. I also have like all my curve already. I could play this, but coin double 3 seems good, so... Where's grab Sourfang? Moonfang has the issue that if they have this, you probably lose. Yo, PJ with the raid. What is up? I'll just go face. Appreciate the raid. You know, I waited to say it because I had ads running, but the reason I was a little shocked earlier was because this name literally means your balls look like the sun. That's literally the translation of this. It's not that often I can fully read a name in Chinese, and that's the one that I can fully read. Don't ask me how that's the one that I can fully read. But yeah. Do I just play this anyway? I can go this in hero power. Like, he could basically kill this off. It's better than me hero powering and playing this, though. I think I'd do it. He must be sponsored by Manscaped. Exactly. True. Do I get sponsored by Manscaped? I think we just do this, right? Well, I would say that was kind of annoying that he plays the Kogel after I played Possessive Fire. But now, I have a Librarian anyway, so. This is what we saved the Librarian for. And we just have power play after power play with this hand, right? Could trade, but I don't think I need to. If he ever doesn't trade with this, we have the potential to clean up with this, maybe. It might be more likely if I trade, though, that I might get like a Candle Raiser Cultist play next turn. But, I mean, I kind of want to play this at this point. Oh, wow. Bump 2-5? What else would I do? Nothing? I think I definitely want to push that damage, even though actually it's kind of funny because that bump happened, because part of the reason for pre-hitting was because you wanted this turn to happen, but I have the Possessive Fire, which... Not in Cultist. Okay, now we entered Titan territory. We had a lot of fun playing fair games, and now suddenly, now people play the auto win cards. Fun. I can do Sourfang. I can do Sourfang Cultist, but I don't know. I have to do like the better. I have to do the better tempo play and just hope it works, right? Realistically, game's already over. I mean, he might die. It is possible. The issue is he's gonna have 2/3/3 reborns, right? Oh. I guess this thing doesn't trade, so like, maybe he thought that wasn't good enough. I figured if he has the 2 reborn taunts, I guess because we have this, maybe we were gonna get through it too efficiently. I mean, it looks like he's looking for something to bail him out, and he might have missed, right? Discovers Frost Rune card. Oh, discover a card with that rune? Oh, I never knew that. Oh. Interesting. He's actually dead. We actually did a chat. Yes, even the Titans cannot stop us. I like how we never played Sourfang. Blood's the one that like just sucks up the other minion, right? So he already had the blood card, I guess. He already discovered the blood one. That's interesting. I've never had that card, so I've literally never had a Primus. So unlike some people, I don't actually get offered Titans. Maybe it's because I don't retire half my decks, but you know. I think the only Titan I've had was I had Sargeras once, actually. And that was I think that was before. No, that was after they nerfed it. The rate of it too, that was the funny thing. But I wasn't really playing right when Titans came out, and they were all in like 20% of decks. So Titans are just a handicap against me, basically.
The calm before the storm.
They literally put Titans into Arena and haven't banned them yet just to try to reduce me below infinite win rate. And Blizzard just can't manage to do it. They're just wondering, it's like, wait, what do we have to do? We put Titans in the game. We literally disabled them from his account, and he's still one of the best Arena players. How is that even possible?
Hogs on the loose.
This doesn't seem very good for him. It's me, you're the Titan. Can you go back into my deck, please, where you're supposed to be? What are you doing roaming by yourself? Oh shit. I need to possess fire before I do this.
I can be very persuasive.
I may actually miss I think I miss a damage and trade this off just to be slightly safer against AoE. Ever so slightly. I think it's worth it. Otherwise it's like, I could save the weapon, like not take that base damage that turn. But I would also kind of like if he lightning stormed me this turn anyway, because then I get to just do this. So, oh, that's actually brutal for me. I just play this and go face, right? Like I could trade for more stats, but it's probably just not that important. Alternatively, I just wait. I think I don't want to let off though. I feel like if I let off the steam, if I let off the pressure, something bad might happen. It'd be a lot more likely something bad would happen.
Nature waits for no one but
That's fine. If he has a lightning storm, it's less fine. Okay, we're good. Worst thing now is a jam session, probably. If he had zap and jam session, that almost cleared. Got him. I think it was really important that we kept the pressure on though. And we might have won that game anyway, to be fair. It didn't seem like he had that much, but I think if we waited, that may have, you know, that may have been a problem. The thing is, Golganeth would have been playable, so if he had that Titan, he would have played it and beaten us still. That's the funny thing, right? I really like this against Death Knight, but going first, I don't think I can afford to keep it. Death Knight just has very solid tempo cards. Yeah, you have a lot of tempo, but then you also have like just really good refill. A lot of card draw, but also just corpse brides. Like those are just really good refill too. either through direct board development or discovering a Scourge or something, right? It's like Death Knight is just a very, very complete class right now. And you have Sickly Grimewalker that just completely scams games on its own as well, right? It just has so many tools, basically. Just more tools than everyone else, basically. That's why its win rate is so high. Why does this keep happening? If I forged this, maybe it would actually give me a real card. He's playing like some weird combo deck. Let me just check, because that can happen nowadays. This isn't someone I played already right now. I've seen people start playing against the same opponent multiple times. It's kind of bad. I don't see what I can do about that. Like, I mean, trading loses me the game on the spot, right? So I just have to play this go face and hope for the best. I need to play this so that I can corrupt the medic. Like, I literally... At this point I would like to, but I literally have no other plays. If he blood boils, then we just uninstall, I guess. And that's semi-manageable, maybe? Poison? Yeah. I need to shoot this. And then what else am I doing? Because if I'm gonna just hero power, I probably kill the 6/6/2. It's not that far out of my way. In which case I do this first. Shit, I wish I could play that. Why the fuck did it come from over there? Anyway. Okay. I mean, the 1/2, at least the mech is the least likely minion for him to kill on our board. Unless he plays a fucking no muncher. Fuck!
Would I lie?
Well, he's at full health, but we have another giant board. Oh, I trade the wrong one. That might actually matter too. And we're running out of steam. We can't really deal with another thing. What runes are he? He is... We've only seen one blood rune. Oh, that's actually just lethal. I didn't do the math. There wasn't really any math to do, so I didn't bother. We did it! I literally did not know it was lethal. And if you're watching this on YouTube, shit, I need to edit my other 12-1 run. I haven't done that yet. That was a shaman, right? I think. But anyway, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, comment, all those things. This is a pretty straightforward deck, right? It's just like a really good tempo deck, right? There's really not much to say about it. Grimewalker, for once, unlike our other Death Knight that was 12, this thing didn't really do that much, actually. It's just, we just did tempo things, you know? Every card pretty much was just along with the ride and just killed opponents pretty fast, right? So, very good deck. We literally won 12 straight with that game, with that deck too. We were 0-1 with this deck. We lost to a paladin at 0-0. Golden Relentless Word. Nice. If we're getting it a golden, that's the one I want, right?